Hey, hi, hello, and welcome to Leo's Little Budget. My name is Leo, and this is my cash budgeting and debt pay off channel. And today's video is a biggie. I have got a whopping £1,800 to put into places. Now, I'm just going to preface this by saying that technically I have already done that. So we're going to be popping all of the placeholders into places. Because I needed to get it where it needed to be pretty much as soon as it hit my bank account so that it didn't get spent on things that it shouldn't have been spent on. So we have got all of the binders out today. We have got some placeholders out. Yeah, and we're just going to get into it. So £1,800, where did that come from? I put an affordability complaint into one of the credit cards that I had a few years ago. I'm not going to lie, I used to be horrendous with money. It was a whole mental health thing. I am almost 40. I will be 40 next year. I had a few years when I was 18 when I was brilliant with money. When I was away at university, I was absolutely brilliant. I had money in savings. I was building a pot for a deposit for a house. And then I got taken for a bit of a ride by my student housing landlord. Looking back on that, I should have fought it, but I didn't, and it meant that I lost a lot of the money that I had in savings. I then came out of university, had a bit of a weird and wonderful work career, where there was just more month than money all of the time. I then had children. Looking back at that, I probably had postnatal depression. There's no probably. I had postnatal depression. I just wouldn't admit to it at the time. And I just went down that spiral that so many people did. I was emotional spending even when I knew that I shouldn't be. And got myself into a bit of a position, and then COVID happened. And at the time, I was fully self-employed, as was my husband. And that took a massive hit because we both had to stop working completely. And whereas people were furloughed and that sort of thing, that didn't happen for us. We had to wait for the self-employed scheme to come into place, which was a lot longer coming than it was for anybody else. So yeah, we had two really young children at the time. One was 5 and one was an under 5. So that was an interesting path to navigate for a while. So I was relying on credit cards for a while, but the only credit cards that I could get were credit cards were really with really high interest rates. So yeah, the whole reason of having this channel now is that I'm trying to correct financial mistakes that I made in my younger years, and get back to a path where we have zero debt. And we're getting there. We are getting there. It's going to take a while, but we are getting there. I also don't earn a huge amount of money, which can also make things tricky. My hours are completely variable due to working in hospitality. I currently work 2 jobs. I also have a self-employed income as well. I also have one child who home educates. So yeah, life is a lot of things, but life is a lot of things for a lot of people. And there are people in a lot worse position than I am. I am also going through a lot of health changes at the moment as well, so I have to throw that into the works. But it is what it is, which is why I allocated money yesterday as soon as it went into the pot so that it went where it absolutely needed to go. So, first couple of things, because they don't involve the binders, is that out of this money, the first thing that I did was paid the £385 that we had outstanding in flights on the credit card. It is a 0% credit card for purchases. It is a 0% for 18 months. I think we've got about 16 months of that left. So we have paid off £385 from the credit card, which feels amazing because it has halved the credit card pretty much. The credit card this month has also had its regular payment and it's had an overpayment as well, so that is also lovely. The second thing that I did was paid off the last tiny bit of my PayPal, which was £25. So those, like, that PayPal debt is now completely wiped, and the flights are completely wiped, and we will, I'll do a separate debt update video later in the month. I didn't get around to filming one last month just because we were in Germany for my daughter's cheer competition at the time in which that happened. So those are that's two of the three things that we paid that doesn't have an allocation or anything like that. The other thing is that I paid off £30 towards my HMRC payment that I need to be making. So yeah, that is that. So let's get into the slightly more fun stuff. I've lied, there is one other thing that I did. I have a son who is almost 12, who has had the same mobile phone for the last 3 years now, 2 years now, 2 years I think. And he's looked after it really, really well. It's still in really good condition. But we made the decision that he's getting a little bit older, he's looked after it really well, that we would replace it for him. I also needed to replace my mobile phone. Mine is damaged and I happened to drop it in the bath last week as well. So I just did them both at the same time. We've paid for them outright. For 2 mobile phones and 3 phone cases, I paid £200. So that is a phone for myself, a phone for my son, a case for both of those phones, and then we have told my daughter, who is 10, who doesn't have a phone yet, that she can have use of her brother's old phone. So we've brought a new case for that, but she has this phone on a trial basis to make sure that she can look after it and be responsible with it. If that is the case, then we will eventually buy her her own one. She's starting to get into an age, especially with the number of hours that she does at cheer at the moment, that we need to be able to get hold of her. She needs to be able to get hold of us if required. So yeah, so that was the other £200 that we spent as well. But now we can get into the fun stuff. So we are going to start in the adventure finder because there is a lot going on. So we're going to grab our first little placeholder, this lovely little sparkly number, and it's a clipping one for a reason. So the adventure binder. I'm standing on the really squeaky floorboard as well, I'm really sorry. So we have got a lot going on. We go to Bournemouth for the last cheer competition of the season in 20-something days. We have added £200 from this money into the Bournemouth pot, but it is in the bank. I don't have an envelope for it. We also have £44 in the bank left over from cheer money as well. That is now in this pot. So we have £244. I'm not sure what the odd pence is, so I'm just not going to write it in there. That is for Bournemouth, and it is all in the bank. On that note, I am going to be swapping to a mix of digital and cash, I think, going forward. Just to try and earn a little bit of interest. We've got Monzo Perks at the moment, which means that we get a little bit of an additional interest every month through having Monzo Perks. I got it to get the rail card, which it's paid for itself, essentially, just from having the rail card. And then we get the free Greggs every week as well, which there's a Greggs around the corner from cheer, so I was always in Greggs anyway. Yeah, so there's £244 in the bank for Bournemouth. This £50 is the last £50 that we need to pay off the campsite for Bournemouth as well. Then we go into our next little challenge, or next little folder, I should say, which is for Devon. And again, so I have paid off our campsite for Devon, which was £145 that we had outstanding. And I have also put £200 into the Devon pot. The cash that we have in here is on this challenge, so we're going to leave that as it is, not complete a challenge and restart it. So again, we're just going to, it's in the bank, so we're just going to do our placeholder. So in the bank for Devon, we have £345. So we're going to pop that placeholder into there. Right. Next one, new little wallet. We are off to Scotland in December for my husband's birthday. It will be his 40th. So we are putting into the bank for Scotland £150. So that is the adventure binder up to date. We are hoping at cheer tryouts in the next few weeks that my daughter is going to be on a travel team again. That's what she wants. And if we do, we will be off to Barcelona next June. So that would be amazing. So then there would be a new little Barcelona wallet somewhere, whether it's in here or whether it's in the cheer binder, I don't know. Yeah, so that is all of our adventure money. Where is the everything binder? I don't have a wallet for this one either, but we have also got in the bank £100 for Father's Day. We know exactly what it is that we are going to be getting my husband as a gift. That is £55, and the rest of it is for if we have a barbecue, we'll use it towards food. If we're not having a barbecue, we will cook his favourite meal, so we will use it to go and get the ingredients for his favourite meal. My husband absolutely loves a carrot cake. So yeah, so that's going to go in there. Whilst we are in here, do we need anything? This is my sort of catch-all binder, so it's got my month ahead money, school. I'm currently doing a challenge 100 to try and get another £100 saved, but without spending any money before we go to Bournemouth. That's a separate little thing that I'm doing on my TikTok. Birthdays for my son, we didn't put anything in here because we're nearly there with that anyway. And we're going to do some rolls in a moment, but in a separate video. And we're not putting anything into football either. Is there anything else that we need to do? Oh no, cheer, right, okay, cheer binder, that's where we need to go. So, the other thing that we did, I've just mentioned cheer, is tryout season is coming up within the next 4 weeks for us. We have a week after the last competition of the season, of like combined training, and then tryouts are the week after. So we have just had the season packs come out for next season, and the first payment that will be due, so the first 3 payments of our cheer payments are like have an extra amount in them on top of like training fees and competition fees, and that's for like choreo fees, insurance, music and all of that sort of stuff. The smallest amount of money that can be is £77 per month for 3 months. However, if my daughter is a crossover again this year as she was last year, if she is on a travel team, etc., that amount of money will be a lot more than that. So I'm trying to get ahead of it now. So we are starting with £200 in that pot. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with the cheer binder going ahead this year. At the moment, I've got 3 little challenges in it. So I've got 25 bows again, which we're going to start on now. I've got I Spy in there again, and then I've got Uniform Saver, which I'm going to use as like a coin catcher because we've got 2 coins in it, so we're going to colour off 2 little things, and instead of everyone being £10, they're going to be £1. And I've got a couple of other little challenges that I'll use through the year when I sort of work out what I'm doing. But we're going to start on 25 bows. We're going to put £200 in, which I've already worked out on my sheet is everything from 25 to 17 and then 11. So in the bank for cheer we have £200. So that is going to go in the wallet. Oh, I forgot I've already got a placeholder for that. Okay, right. Let's just add it on to this one. So £200 in the bank to get started for cheer next season. So yeah, then we do have some cash, but the cash is going to be a separate video. But we have 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, £150 that we are going to roll with. I've got 6 categories that I'm going to roll with. I'm going to film a separate video for that now, so that I've got a few videos to go out over the next few days, as my last couple of videos I haven't posted. I need to do a big catch up on Mini Mondays, because I've filmed them and done the mini, but then there's been problems with the files with uploading them, so I haven't. The same as I had some more extra money last week as well for doing like an extra job for somebody, and I did all the roles for it, and I can't upload the video for it, so yeah, I'm just going to do a separate update video. So that is it from me for today. It is crazy just how quickly that you can spend £1,800. If anybody's adding that up, no, it doesn't quite equal exactly £1,800, and that's because I did keep a little bit as sort of a buffer for if there's anything that I realise that I've forgotten that probably could do with a top up. And if there's not, then it just means that I've got sort of an extra tiny little bit just for myself to treat myself to a little bit of a something after what has been a rough few months. So yeah, that is it from me for today. Thank you for watching me spend this £1,800. I'm going to go and film this rolls video now. If you've got to the end of the video and you haven't liked and subscribed, pretty please could you do that for me? I really would love to grow this channel. If you like lots of short form content as well, you can find me over on TikTok. Again, over there I'm Loves Live to Budget. I would really love that. I'm heading towards 1,000 subscribers over on TikTok, whereas I'm really struggling to get the growth over here. But yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.